Do I have to research for Caiuajara, or do I already have it? I already have it. Awesome. Oh my god, it's the Pteranodons! Ah! I just realized that I only put singers to be in this band. Who's singing and who's doing the drums and guitars? I feel like Britney Spears would have too much of a of an ego to not be the singer.
Although pterosaurs are not ancestors of modern-day birds, they are more closely related to them than they are to dinosaurs or any modern reptiles.
I can totally see Elvis rocking the guitar. Who would do the drums? Probably Aurora. I can see those. I guess they're concerned about the lack of shelters. Okay, well, hold on. Let me worry about the pterosaurs, and then I might consider your thingamajig. Right. Research for aviary drones. And while I am building the Caiuajara enclosure, what I think I'll do is that... Right, so... Expedition map. I need to build an expedition center. Alright, Caiuajara. I believe Caiuajara is South American. Tapijara, Caiuajara, there we are. Yeah, okay. So, Caiuajara. Start task, right? And then, while they're doing that, we'll build the enclosure in advance. We got a couple different options. Oh, sorry, no, it's only allowing us the Malta version. This is not a lot of space. I was hoping for more. Stuff it. The mouse decided that we would start. Okay. Thankfully, I guess we didn't miss a whole lot. I still made the Caiuajara enclosure, so that's pretty much marginally what I did, right? But in the background, I guess when I somehow accidentally paused my recording, I built this thing. I built this enclosure. This aviary with this huge, like, rocky archway. I really like it. It looks really cool, and how it looks. And I'm really hoping that the Caiuajara actually like fly underneath the bloody rocky archway. I think that would be cool. We had a bit of money problems. I had to upgrade the scientists. Because I couldn't actually make the Caiuajara, but doing that kind of like gave me a bad spot in my money. So I'm contemplating whether or not I still want to make the Caiuajara. Well, not want. I need to make the Caiuajara. It's telling me that I have to. We're gonna make the Caiuajara. I'm just gonna have to hope that the Caiuajara is what will get me more money. I don't know, usually when you're at this point, if coming from experience from Evolution 2, usually when you come to this point in time, it doesn't always end well. You have usually a run ends and like, but I don't know, we're increasing money. I quickly took photos of the pteranodons to get money, because that's kind of a life hack, a cheap hack that you could do for this game to get money is to take photos, and that gave me enough money to buy these amenities, you know, the shopping, food, drink, and hopefully that will be good for us. Yep, everything's blue, green, and red. No, everything's blue. So yeah, let's just make the Caiuajara. And hopefully, it's not too expensive. I'm really hoping we get a new contract. Preferably one that I take a photo. Or something that's doable. Something that doesn't require me to use money to gain the money. Let's see. In fact, can I do that right now, actually? Can I request a contract? I can. Park rating 2.0. Amenity coverage to 75%. Revenue, have a revenue of 75. I guess park rating? I mean, we're already like close to 2 stars. Maybe what I can do is I can get like emergency shelters and bathrooms. That might do something. Yeah, let's do that. So I have an emergency shelter just in case the sinners get loose and run wild. Okay. Is that enough? Oh, we have the synthesis batch. Right, how many do we have? We only got 3. That's... Would have liked more, but... Especially since they're not that big. But... And not a lot of them... Right. We also have you... Be the male, and the rest are female. How much for that? 420,000. Right, I'm gonna have to wait.
Procedure.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, let's just hope that this will increase the money. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is the Caiuajara. Oh, that's not supposed to happen. Oh. I just did that. Why is the mission not continuing? What? I just made a Caiuajara. Why is it not continuing? Or whatever. Well, at least we have a Caiuajara, I guess. Right, let me just... Yeah, let's take care of it first, right? So I want a nice, clear pathways through there. Right, and then... And then what I want is actually, I want a bunch of fruit trees. Tall fruit. Here we are. Yeah. Just fill it to the brim with a whole load of fruit trees. And I have reason for this, right? There we go. This is actually a really nice looking enclosure. I'm really happy how this came out. I'm glad that they're happy with it. So, alright. So if they're not going to continue the story mission, then I guess this gives me ample opportunity to actually talk about Caiuajara. So Caiuajara is a Tapijaran pterosaur. As you can see, they're distinctive. What is going on there? Whoa. You gonna go down? Oh no. Whoa. You can't decide if he wants to go up or down. But they're pterosaurs that are identifiable by their very obscure What was that about? They're identifiable by the crests on their head, right? And it's believed that they would be bright with pigmentation. They're very colorful, and that males would have them probably be very big, very colorful, very flashy to attract females. Hence the sexual dimorphism. Now, originally, when I heard it was going to be Caiuajara, I initially thought like maybe they, I thought they might have picked better pterosaurs, like Tupandactylus or something. But then actually, when I actually looked at it, looked at Caiuajara, which honestly, it's probably better that they did pick Caiuajara, because you know, it's always nice to represent lesser known pterosaurs or prehistoric creatures in general. But when I looked at Caiuajara, Caiuajara is really, really interesting. So when Caiuajara was found, Caiuajara was a pterosaur in Brazil, South America. And when it was found, it was actually like a whole fossil bed of like lots and lots and lots of Caiuajara specimens. There were like heaps of them, right? And it's why we would know so much about basically what they look like. There are so many individuals. Whoa, you just teleport. Whoa, what's going on? Right. Okay. It's a little buggy how they react to everything, but whatever. So when, yeah, there were lots of fossils of this pterosaur found of many different ages and what we assume is female and male variants. So then that's why we know that it's they're sexually dimorphic, and that's probably why Frontier picked this pterosaur. It's because they pretty much have a perfect reference on how to make a female and male variant of this pterosaur, and it's really cool. Yeah. So and also another thing, since they are tapijaran pterosaurs, they don't well, they might have been capable of eating fish, but that's not what they specialize. It's believed that, like all tapijarans, since they got this thick, broad, flat skull, they might have been capable of being frugivorous. So they ate fruits instead of fish, which is, you know, unusual for a pterosaur, right? Yeah, and another thing I want to point out about Caiuajara is that if you actually look at it, it's got these little fuzz on it, right? So, and yeah, pterosaurs, they would have had this little fuzz on them as well. The normal Tapijara didn't have it, and that comes into an interesting discussion, right? So, for a while now, we thought that feathers was, because birds are dinosaurs, we thought feathers obviously originated with dinosaurs, right? And nothing more. And with pterosaurs like Caiuajara, we had fossils of them having these little feather-like... we had trace fossils of them, and you can see this little fuzz on them. But for a little while, everyone just shrugged it off and said that that's not feathers, that's their own thing. That's something called pycnofibers, right? And for the longest while, that's what everyone called it. But then there was a paper that looked at another pterosaur that is, funny enough, a tapijaran pterosaur. That's Tupandactylus, right? And what they say is that the structures, these little feather structures on this pterosaur, are too similar to feathers to not be feathers. So therefore, we now think that feathers are on pterosaurs, which is really interesting, right? So now we have to ask the question, like, when did feathers originate then, right? Because pterosaurs are not dinosaurs, they're reptiles, they're their own thing. So at what point did feathers come into the evolution records? It's really cool, yeah. And just like Sinosauropteryx and other dinosaurs, where we have the feather trace fossils, we now know what color Tupandactylus specifically was, and it's a really pretty looking pterosaur, honestly. It's mostly black, but I think there's like navy blue in it, and the crest is bright orange. So Tupandactylus was a very, very pretty looking pterosaur. Yeah, so now we can figure out what colors some pterosaurs are, thanks to the feathers on them. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe later down the line, someone would do a counter research to say no, they're not feathers. But I don't know. I like the idea that feathers are on pterosaurs. It gives this nice little mystery almost, you know. When did feathers originate? Ooh. Yeah. All right. So now that I've finished doing my paleontology stuff, talked about the Caiuajara, let's figure out what the hell's going on. Why is the story mission not continuing? I guess I'll just make another batch. These are very small pterosaurs after all, and there's heaps of room. I'd probably fit like a bunch of Caiuajaras in this. So we'll just make another batch. Easy peasy. It's easy as that. Right. And this time, we'll let it randomize. We'll let the game decide what they want the male and female variants to look like.
Complete.
Synthesize, incubate, and release a Caiuajara. Specifically one? Or, oh, we only got tolerant. So what do we got dealing with? Oh, you're pretty generic. But I guess you look natural. You look really pretty. Oh, interesting. Ooh, okay. I'll keep you, because you look really pretty in green. And, oh, just the green. Father, husband and wife. The green. Oh, interesting. No, so they basically... Huh. Is that luck or is that on purpose? Anyways, alright, so I'll have a green male and a green female. There we go, that's what we're doing. Okay. Alright, so I have a Caiuajara ready. I'm gonna release it. What the hell?
The dinosaurs did not evolve for this world. Their struggles to adapt should be evidence of this. But you reject that fact, and you endanger human life in doing so. Dr. Malcolm was right. Nature must be allowed to take its course without human intervention. If that means a re-extinction of dinosaurs, so be it. We are extinction now, and this is our warning to you. End your work. Dissolve the dinosaur integration network, or this will no longer just be a warning.
I'm sorry, Anonymous.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
You know, I see where they're coming from. Nature should be revered, but the situation, I must say, has evolved since Mount Sibo's eruption on Isla Nublar. The dinosaurs aren't isolated on an island anymore. Our actions don't just affect prehistoric life, but human life also. But I suppose people will see what they want to see, and we can't stop them. Trust me, I've tried.
It's petty idealism being dressed up as a fact of nature. Our work is too important to allow this to slow us down.
Geez, your self-belief is admirable. You know, others have had that same confidence with, let's say, mixed results.
Let's keep doing what we're doing. It's not like they'll actually be able to stop us anyway, huh?
Mr. Finch, I was just talking to our client about their ambitions to expand the park. Do you have something you want to explain?
Okay, don't be mad, but I have a lot of friends / enemies / debt in Vegas, and I knew we'd need a crisis manager if we ever wanted to cut through the red tape and expand the site. And guess what? It worked, huh? Of course, Lily stormed off as soon as I told her, but she's dealt with jobs falling apart before. I said she was at Jurassic World, didn't I? Hmm?
I am truly disappointed in you, Finch. But, I confess, the client will be happy. The red tape is down, but the land still needs to be paid for. We should generate enough funds to make this happen.
Okay. Accumulate an additional $200,000. I thought you said we have more space. Improving guest comfort can result in more Huh? Am I supposed to have a lot more space? There's what? There's nothing. All right. Should I stop? Should I continue? I think I'll let it go on for just a little bit longer. Right, we'll get that 200,000 and we'll see what happens. If we then are told to like, oh, we got more space, make another enclosure, then we'll stop it. Right. In the meantime, let's have a look. What do we need? Nothing really. Everything's happy. Maybe what I could do actually. Hold on. Can I get a pterosaur hat eggs? Small nesting area. Small dinosaur species can lay their eggs. What about flying reptile nest? Before you can build this, you must first research it. Alright, let's go for that. Because I do remember them saying that like natural born dinosaurs can kind of boost up the thingy. Oh, you got a bit of scars on your face there, buddy. From the fight from the other guy, no wonder. I do wonder, is it a thing that the males will fight each other for dominance? Because I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Let's see, what would be the best looking nest for something like Caiuajara? This is cool, but like, I like this one. It's nice and it's nice with trees and stuff. Pretty spacious. Or we could just move on to the next zone.
The prospect of a breeding program helped secure this contract, and now it is time to deliver on that. Dr. Baldera, I assume your research applies to flying reptiles as well?
In science, we don't assume. We postulate, we hypothesize, we test.
Aren't those just very fancy words for guess?
Okay, so I've studied flying reptiles a little less. Not so big on heights, but the principles are very much the same. Our flyers will need nests if we're going to encourage their natural wild behaviors.
Is Texas normally this wet? Why is there like a massive like swamp right next to the desert? Is that normal? I've never been to Texas, so like I wouldn't know, but it's pretty neat. Maybe that's something, that actually might explain what the Namek formation is like then. Since there are wetland dinosaurs, but also deserty dinosaurs. Anyways, right, construct a flying reptile nest. I can easily do that. In fact, I might make two. One for the Caiuajara, which I was going to do anyway. And one for the pteranodons. Let's see. Where... Okay. Are you perfectly okay with having your nests out in the open? Likes tapijars and Quetzalcoatlus. Dislikes hybrid carnivores. Okay. Are you okay with this? I think you're okay with this. What about pteranodons? What's their nesting? Increased genome for
The site is getting more
Geosternbergia.
impressive by the day. But increasing diversity within our population would
Should
provide
I?
both scientific and entertainment value. That should be our next target.
Requires medium nest. Wait, hold on. Did I get the right nest for Caiuajara? Wait, it should be the right nest. What am I talking about? They gave me... I don't have any other options. It's just flying reptile nests, so like... Oh, whatever. Increase the genome for Geosternbergia. Increase... $1 million for that! Whoa! Increase total juvenile population to 4. Huh. That one, I guess. Wait. Increase juvenile population. Just any juveniles? So if I get like a bunch of Caiuajaras, then I'll get that contract done. Alright, I can do that. But if we're moving on to Geosternbergia, we probably might want to end it off here then. Cause yeah, I don't think there's anything else. We got our Caiuajara, we've done a lot of stuff. I made some honestly really cool, like, sure, call this basic, but at least it's creative. I honestly like the bloody stadium concert thing that I done for the pteranodons. And for the Caiuajara enclosure, this enclosure's really grown on me. I really like how this enclosure came out. I really like how it looks. And yeah, so I guess next time we'll move on to the Geosternbergia. We'll try and make an aviary for that. I don't think I'm going to make the Caiuajara share an enclosure with the Geosternbergias. Or even the pteranodons. I don't even think this would even be enough room for pteranodons to share an aviary with the Geosternbergias. Let me see. Likes... Oh, they do like Geosternbergias and Thanatos Dracon. But still, I think I like the idea of making another enclosure. And besides, we got all this space right here anyway, so we may as well. So I guess in the next time we'll do that. All right. But yeah. So until then, if you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, click the subscribe button. And I'm Super Master, and make sure you have a super time. Bye bye. I can't decide if I want to bloody land on this rock or just fly over it. Oh man.